We are live from the MAC Physical Education Center on the campus of Hofstra University. It's time once again for Hofstra Pride Wrestling here on the Hofstra Pride YouTube channel. And today it's the Cal Baptist Lancers facing off against the Hofstra Pride. We start at 157 pounds. Dan Savarino here with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Joe McGinty goes at 157 for Hofstra, and for California Baptist, it's Joseph Mora. McGinty this season 4-8 overall, 4-6 inside of duels, and he has been very good as of late. While Joseph Mora on the other end, 5-12 this season, and 3-8. Well, 5-12 this in his career, and 3-8 this season, and is still looking for his first victory here in the 2022-2023 season, as we start here at 57 in this non-conference dual matchup. It's the last one for the Pride this year before they will start the EIWA Championships, which will take place down at Drexel University this year on March 4th and 5th. It's also Senior Day here at Hofstra University, as the seniors were honored before this contest. And Hofstra in the white singlets, tops and bottoms. They are wearing the green ankle band, while the Lancers are in the blue, and it's kind of grayish white here at 157. Pride coming off a 43-6 dual win during the last time out. McGinty did fall in that one via decision 6-1, but the Pride still took care of business against Sacred Heart after falling previously to Harvard, and a tough one against Drexel just about a week and a half ago here. Still scoreless, minute 15 to go here in the first period. It was either going to be McGinty or Schindel, and McGinty ends up getting it. It's a good sprawl there by Mora. Brings it down to 1 minute with still no score on the board. Back to standing. Nothing really going on at the moment. Still both looking to see if they can catch maybe an edge. They have them both in the clinch. And with the 30-second timer on, still a scoreless first. Nobody's really tried to take a huge shot here. Well, McGinty has fallen in his last 4 and 5 of his last 6. But again, he has been wrestling much, much better, and he's been facing some pretty tough competition during that time. And the one thing that Dennis Papadopoulos brings up all the time, of course, it's about heart too, but especially in these duels, which he says always has a different feel. You're going to fall, you have to fall just by decision to make sure that you're not giving up any bonus points. So selecting bottom. And Mora trying to escape here as he gets back to his feet. McGinty still has control of him, trying to fight with that wrist. McGinty still on top of him. McGinty still has the controls. He was able to get that leg and then brings it right down. Nice job by Joe McGinty. '57 has been one of the weight classes for the Lancers that have had a multitude of different players coming out. Mora, Miller Johnston, Ruiz have all gotten the nod at 57 for California Baptist. Dennis Papadopoulos, of course, longtime head coach here at Hofstra, has said that this group, he knows they really could have won essentially every single duel this season. Knows it just comes down to heart. As Derek Moore, California Wrestling Hall of Famer himself, The interim head coach, named in May of 2022 after being an assistant for some time since the 2017 season. A standout himself during the time at 141 in the Pac-10. So just the one escape point here with 40 seconds to go. Again, ride time up to 51 seconds. As McGinty grabs control in the back, maybe looking to try and trip down and turn him over, and there he's got 2 points. 2-1 advantage for Joe McGinty with 20 seconds to play. And now that ride time gives him the bonus. If all stands, 10 seconds. And with 5 seconds, he'll just try and ride him out here, which keeps that ride time going up. And a round of applause for the faithful here at Hofstra University. So McGinty selects bottom. Mora looks a little gassed as he's making his way over, taking his time. Third period here at 57, our first today of this duel. McGinty trying to push that leg out, that right leg. Mora still has control over him. Joseph Mora, the redshirt sophomore, trailing 3-1 after the escape. Native out of Anaheim, California. Saw 6 matches last season, which was his first year of competition. His brother Isaiah, also a member. His dad wrestled at Minnesota, Mauricio. It's a family affair for the Moras, as so many who work in this sport. And another 2 points for McGinty, so now he has a much more comfortable 4-point lead. And we're at now 1 minute of ride time, so he would have the bonus. Oh, trying to get his back, almost did. And this would be so huge for McGinty. Pick up his first win in 5 duels, or 5 matches, I should say. In dual competition, he has seen the majority of that time over the last few weeks, but it'd be big for him to put 3 on the board for the Pride. With 30 to go. All 4 wins so far for McGinty have been via decision, and he is 15 seconds away after a stall warning called on Mora. He still has some time if he has to push him over. With under 10 to go. Mora with 5. And that's going to do it. It will be a 6-1 win via decision for Joe McGinty at 157 pounds. So the Pride lead 3-0. So McGinty defeats Mora, and we go to 165 pounds. All right, here's Eric Schindel, who has seen time at 57, 65, last year 41. And he'll go up against Frank Almaguer. Almaguer this year is 4-7 in duels, 15-7 in his career, while Schindel in duels this season just 2-1, but 10-11 overall this season and in his Hofstra career. And California Baptist will get the takedown here as Almaguer gets the first 2 on the board. Almaguer, a redshirt sophomore out of Washington, went 11-2 last year at 165. Didn't see any action in that COVID-shortened season, was a redshirt during his freshman season, but coming off 3 Washington Division 1A state championships. Skate point, brings it back to 1, and brings it back to the center of the mat. Schindel, the local kid out of Merrick, New York, sophomore year now. Did see time last year, went 3-5. In that redshirt season, where in wrestling you are allowed to have a certain amount of matches and appearances throughout the year without losing your red shirt. Wrestling's really the only sport you can do that in NCAA, which is one of the cooler opportunities to get these guys some true reps. So look at him in the skate point. It's 4-2, but just like that, it's another 2 points down for Almaguer. Almaguer almost had control of his neck there, and now gets that left arm around. He's got long arms, and just pushing him out of bounds. With 1:20 to go here in the first frame. 6-3 is the lead. In a high-scoring first period here on Senior Day. Schindel, not getting the 2 yet. He's out of bounds. The foot was actually just off the mat. But you love to see Schindel still attacking. Two-point takedown, and it's a 5-point advantage. One of the big things that Dennis Papadato's brought up multiple times this season was consistency. He wanted consistency from all his wrestlers on the mats during practice and, of course, during duels and tournaments. And he said that's one thing he hasn't seen altogether during duels is consistency. "16 seconds to go here in the first. And with 10 seconds, going to see if he can just ride him out. Schindel trying to get back to his feet, couldn't. And that's going to do it. So he's got a 29-second cushion in ride time as we head to the second. There's Almaguer. Almaguer's wins this year, 3 by decision, 1 by tech fall, and 2 of them in sudden victory. So Hofstra on bottom, the white singlets. Lancers on top in the blue and white. And back to his feet. 1-point escape. Goes right for that right leg again. Almaguer doesn't have control, and now that's going to be 2. So the lead is up to 6 with 90 seconds to go in the second. Well, guys who are expected to go in the upper and then lower weight classes, McFarland for Hofstra and Luis Rojas for California Baptist. Jacob Ferreira is expected to go at 84, as he always is, with Trey Rogers and Zachary Knighton Ward, who is honored here on Senior Day for Hofstra at the heavyweight. And then Moon, Liardi, Hoyle, and Leandrew. That's what it's at on paper right now. We'll see if it stays true. It's a 5-point lead with just about a minute to play. And he has that right leg pulled out, and it's 2-point takedown, extending it up to 7. And again, with that bonus ride time, it would be up to major decision if this holds. Back to neutral, is going to give him a 1-point escape. He just wanted to let him go up so that he can try and grab that extra point on the takedown here. Goes to the left leg, sprawling out. Kind of caught with that right leg is Schindel. Has a full grasp on it. With 20 seconds. And 2. So the decision to let him escape works out. And now with 10 seconds, he can ride him out right here on the Hofstra H. We head to the third. It's a 14-6 advantage. Almaguer did get a victory during his last one. And he has seen some highly ranked competition from Northern Illinois, San Diego State, Stanford. With that 4-7 record inside of duels. Had a Tech Fall win on the 12th, last time he wrestled. And then prior to that, a decision lost against Austin Yant out of Northern Iowa, number 13 in the country. Four of his 7 losses this year have come to ranked guys at the 165 weight class. Another 2-point takedown, and then a 1-point escape. The lead is 10. And the goal here for him is to try and get that tech. Tries with the trip and gets 2 more. So 12-point lead. He's already guaranteed the ride time bonus. Oh, they're giving him control, so then he'll end up giving a release. Shooting was Schindel, looking for the double. Under a minute to go. Still nothing. Almaguer. Having kind of a north-south position. And back to center we go with 33 seconds. It's an 11-point advantage here in the third. Sprawl. And not getting that 2 yet. With 15. So it looks like here Schindel may end up hanging on. They'll bring him back to neutral again. So it seems as if Schindel will end up hanging on, just giving up 1 bonus point. 1 point given. And that does it. As they gave a stall point. Add 1 more, and it's a 21-8 victory. So via major decision, it's Almaguer, his first major decision this year, and his 5th victory this year. CBU at 165 is victorious, and they now trail 4-3. Excuse me, they now lead 4-3. We go to 174. And Luis Rojas will go at 74. Ross McFarland for the Pride. McFarland 11-9 on the year, 6-4 in duels this season. Rojas in his career 7-32, and in duel matches this season 2-11. Rojas has seen a ton of time this year at 74. And he has dropped his last 3 and 7 of his last 8. A couple of those to ranked guys. Decision, a bunch of major decisions. His last win against Wyoming in late January came via decision. And right now we are scoreless as we approach 90 seconds to go here in the first. McFarland, the redshirt sophomore, who has been consistent at 74. He has 2-point takedown. 3-2 over his last 5, and both losses came via decision to ranked guys. Mickey O'Malley out of Drexel, and he was number 5 at 174 in the land. And then a loss next. The number 21 wrestler in the country at Harvard during the Harvard duels. Farland here with a 2-point lead. Guy who is healthy now. Lancers end up taking a stall warning here. He's healthy now. Hurt a bunch last season. An MCL, concussions, rushed back. But now that he's healthy, he can be consistent. And he's doing what they want to see. They'll get 2 near fall points, and it's a 4-0 lead. So it is his control with 4 seconds. And a 4-0 lead. Not getting the escape as the buzzer sounds. So it is a 4-0 lead as we head to the second period. Pride take bottom here. Rojas, a native out of California, redshirt sophomore. Last year, wrestled in 17 matches, started in 6 of 10 duels, and 4-13 last year. And as alluded to before, and seen some really tough competition during that time. Saw some time at 74 and 84 in that COVID-shortened season. And then it went 5-6 as an unattached wrestler during the 1920 season, which was his redshirt year. Has aspirations of being a pediatrician post-graduation. Not the only one in this gym who has been accepted or wants to at least aspire to go into medical school. Trey Rogers accepted into medical school. 5-0 lead with 65 seconds to go here in the second. Dan Severino with you on the Hofstra Pride YouTube channel. Appreciate you joining us. This Saturday afternoon, the last duel of the year for the Pride before the EIWA Championships and then eventually the NCAA Championships, which the Pride are, of course, hopeful to have a few going there. One of the busiest days of the year for Hofstra Pride Athletics. 6 different teams competing today. Under 30. And so far, this really has been all McFarland. With 10 to go. And that is the end of the second. 5-0 lead for Ross McFarland. California Baptist takes bottom here to begin the third. Peter Achardi expected to go next at 84. And for Hofstra, expected to wrestle at 184 pounds will be Velez. A 5-1 lead. Still 29 seconds of ride time that would be added on. And with the 1 minute called by the voice, Sadiq Faruqi, it is still a tight battle here. Looking for one more takedown maybe to see if you can get yourself into potential major. Has that left leg, not control yet. And lets him go. And just slip through his fingers. So he's guaranteed the bonus for ride time. And they'll go back to neutral. Five seconds to go. 2 points given for California Baptist, but it does not matter. It's still a 3-point win and 3 more points in this duel at 174 pounds. Ross McFarland picking up his 12th win of the season. And we go to 184. Peter Achardi out of Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey. Went to Buffalo. It is Erickson Velasquez. Gets the nod here at 84. Of course, 84, which really has been anchored by Ferreira all season long. Kind of hard to get some action here for the duels when you have a nationally ranked guy in your roster, but Erickson Velasquez is no joke, 8-4 this season. This is his first duel that he is appearing in. Phenomenal wrestler during his high school days. Wrestled at 95. County finalist almost every year. And if nearby, Mineola, not too far away here from Hofstra University. Saw 8 matches last year at 74. And saw 2 during that 2020-2021 season. So, of course, still lots of hopes for him going forward of maybe solidifying that 84 spot when Ferreira is done. So a guy from the Garden State and a guy from the island. And the guy from the Garden State goes to school 3,000 miles away. Scoreless so far. Velasquez doesn't have full control, but there's that left leg and a 2-point takedown for the Lancers. Achardi has seen the most action out of anybody from CBU. 77-63 record in his career. And this season 5-7 in duels, has had wins, one via pin, one via major decision, a couple of overtime appearances for Sutton victory. So Achardi here, getting that rod time point. As Velasquez extending those legs out to try and break free. And Achardi still has control in him. So we go back to the center of the mat. Peter Achardi, whose time started at Buffalo. Started for 3 years for the Buffalo Bulls. Not the Bills, the Buffalo Bulls. As our producer, Corey Cross Hansen, looks over at me, thinking he's playing with Josh Allen. But went 26-27 during his career at the University of Buffalo. Two-time state finalist in New Jersey. And here he has a 2-0 advantage, but has bottom. So the local kid, Velasquez, will look to see what he can control. One-point escape, down 3. Remember, this would end up being a reversal. No, excuse me, it would not be. He already escaped out. Back to neutral we go. 120 left in the second here at 184 pounds. If you're just joining us, final duel of the year. Hofstra took it at 57. That was Joe McGinty for a 3-0 lead. And then at 165, Almaguer picked up his 5th win of the year via major decision to take a 4-3 advantage. And the Pride grabbed it right back at 74. Ross McFarland, who picked up his 7th win in duels this year, 12th overall. Now Erickson Velasquez going at 184 pounds. Looking to swing this back. For a little cushion as we get to the upper weight classes, with Rogers at 97 and Zachary Knighton-Ward with his final duel in his great career here at Hofstra at home. 5-0 is the lead with 12 seconds. Velasquez given a stall warning, and that's going to do it for the second. Minute 36 of ride time. So a 36-second cushion for the bonus point. And he's just going to give the release, the 1-point escape. And Achardi, very experienced wrestler. And you hear this from ninth-year head coach Dennis Papadopoulos all the time. Everybody was a state champion when you get to Division I. Everyone has been a county finalist or a county champion or a state finalist, a state champion. It's a different ball game at this point. You're not the top dog anymore, and you really have to fight through. Sometimes that experience just really matters the most. Guys who have been around it and understand that, what it takes on and off the mat. Velasquez down 5 here. Now in a tough spot with that leg as Achardi has control, looking for the trip. With a minute to go in the third. A 2-point takedown. Lead is 7. 8 with the bonus point. 45 seconds. And just pushes him off the mat. A stall given to the Lancers. So both guys have been given stalls. Again, for California Baptist here, of course, you want to try and kill off some time, too. Keep yourself in that major decision category. You don't want to give up that escape point. Keep it at 8. That's their goal. And right now, it's only 6. Six if you include the bonus point of ride time. 30 seconds. Stall points awarded to the Lancers, and then a takedown, which brings it up to an 8-point lead. 9 with the bonus. So that stall warning point is so huge because it puts it right into bonus category. And that's that. 11-2 the final via major decision. It's Peter Achardi. Achardi's 78th career win. 6th this year in duels, 10th this year overall. And at 184, it now goes to 8-4 advantage to Cal Baptist. We go to 197. Trey Rogers, who gets a nice applause as always. Someone who Dennis Papadopoulos has said he is really going to miss at the end of this season and what he has done for this program. So it's Caden Gerlach, the redshirt sophomore out of Alaska. Who gets the nod at 197 pounds. And a tough task today against the nationally ranked Trey Rogers. Rogers doesn't have control yet of Gerlach. Gerlach gets back to his feet. And Gerlach has seen a lot of time this year and a lot of tough opponents. The last win via win by a pin at 3:36. And snapped a two-duel losing streak. But he's had a few wins this year via pin. So Caden Gerlach standing tall and avoiding the 2 points. Not yet for Rogers. '28th in the nation. And no doubt has been their best wrestler this year overall, most consistent. Victorious in now 9 straight. Back to center we go. Stall warning with 30 seconds to go against the Lancers, and then a 2-point takedown for Trey Rogers. Rogers second on the team in wins. Overall wins, that is, this year. And that's going to do it for the first. Rogers has been nationally ranked since the 20th of November and has not lost in this calendar year. Perfect 9-0 in duels, 16-3 overall. And here looking to slip out as the Hofstra bench is yelling for a stall. Rogers tripped up again. Gerlach still having control. Gerlach 41-25 overall in his career. I mentioned before 4-5 in duels this season. And I head back to the center of the mat. Caution given to California Baptist. Gerlach grabbing that right leg of Rogers as he hops backwards. And there's the stall. So stall point awarded to Trey Rogers, whose lead now goes up to 3. Out of Hastings, Minnesota. Just a phenomenal example of what this team is about and what it means to be a student athlete here at Hofstra University. The other escape point is there. It's that comfort, Dennis Papadotto says, of knowing you have him at 97. Out of bounds. 4.0, Ivy League Medical School accepted, took MCATs early because he just wanted to see how he would do. Score was way too good that he had to use it. He is going to medical school when his time is done here on the island. But his time's not done on this season. He still has a lot of aspirations, NCAAs, EIWAs. And with 15 seconds left in the second, he's up 6-0. And that does it for the second period. Gerlach takes bottom here, down by 6. Another 2. It's a 7-point lead. So now Rogers has a decision to make on what he wants to do to get himself to major. 1-point escape. So it's back to 6. He does not have the ride time bonus. But he needs 2 here. That is a guarantee. When does he want to take the shot? Sprawling out as Gerlach looks for that double. There it is. 2-point takedown. Gerlach breathing heavy as Rogers looks over to his sideline. And Dennis Papadatos tells him, okay, get on up. Go for another 2. He's got it. The lead is 9. So this would give them that bonus point, be a major decision with 35 seconds to play. And if he rides him out the rest of the way here, he'll have that 10-point lead, and that will solidify it. See if he wants to take a shot here. It doesn't seem like it. So Trey Rogers looking for 10 straight, and just a few seconds away from doing so. It is 10 consecutive victories at 197 for Trey Rogers. A 10-point win via major decision. And Rogers ends his dual career for the Pride victorious. So it is going to be our mid-match. They are going to have a welcome back alumni ceremony, which is something that is always fun to see. So many alumni come on back. So it's going to be a quick mid-match break. Well, just recap for you what has gone down. Pride are now ahead 10-8 so far in the duel. Again, their final duel of this season. They started at 157 pounds. Joseph McGinty over Joseph Mora of California Baptist, 6-1. Almaguer at 165 got a major decision over Eric Schindel. Ross McFarland answering back for the Pride over Luis Rojas, a 6-3 via decision. Peter Acciardi, major decision over Erickson Velasquez at 84, and then Trey Rogers via major decision over Caden Gerlach at 97. Still due up, Zachary Knighton Ward, Jacob Moon, Chase Liardi, Justin Hoyle, and Michael Leandrew. So those are going to be some very important matches for the Pride if they want to come away with this duel. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right here on the Hofstra Pride YouTube channel. Heavyweight division. It's Zachary Knighton Ward bringing a loud ovation as always here to Hofstra. Knighton Ward, who's been around the block for some time now, 66-37 overall in his collegiate career. 15-11 this season, 6-4 in duels. And he's starting to get it back to what he does. You think back a couple of weeks ago, they weren't even going to wrestle him unless they needed to in a duel. And they decided to go with him and told him, all right, no knees. Instead, he went out and got a pin in 6 seconds, the longest of the season. That was against George Mason on Friday, the 3rd of February. Knighton Ward, local kid, started at Nassau Community College before making his way over here to Hofstra. And looking to go out in a winning way in his final duel. Christopher Island, the sophomore. Saw 17 matches last year, 8 duels at heavyweight, went 7-10. Native out of California. Island saw 2 matches in a COVID-shortened season. A high school graduate of 2020 before making his way to California Baptist University. And Island here getting backed up by Knighton Ward with 40 seconds to go. And I'm going to say out of bounds, brings him back to neutral. And a stall warning given to Island too. Island has wrestled at 285 in all but 1 duel this season. It was their last one against Cal State Bakersfield. With 20 seconds to play. A 2-point takedown for Zachary Knighton Ward. Island has dropped his last 2. And 10 of his last 11 at the heavyweight position. He's also seen some ranked guys during that time. Which brings him to that 4-14 record. And here Knighton Ward, who has been ranked in the past. Not currently, though. A graduate level, Zachary Knighton Ward, as his family yells out. They're here every single match. We'll never miss one. 1-point escape, up 3-0. Knighton Ward fell 2 matches ago against a very tough number 8 wrestler in the country out of Harvard. But had an injury defeat against Sacred Heart. Had a decision win over Drexel, and then that pin against George Mason. So he has won 3 of his last 4 duels. And here, these are important points for Hofstra, especially when they turn over the weight classes to the lightweights. They need points. Under a minute to go here in the second. What's always so impressive to me with a lot of these heavyweights is obviously there are such different styles of heavyweights, but when you get yourself to this level, especially Division I heavyweights, they're not just big bodies. They're big boys who can move. They're quick, powerful. And when they get a takedown, boy, oh boy, you can hear the entire mat and room rattle. And with under 10 seconds to go, up by 4. And that's what it will be going into the third period. So it's choice for Knighton Ward. Oh, excuse me, it's a choice for the Lancers. So California Baptist takes bottom here. Knighton Ward on top. Still has control, and good control too, as he's trying to grab that right wrist and gain better control of him. As he's riding him around on the right. Goes for that left ankle. And he wants to see if he can flip him over and try and get some near fall points here. Still controlling the leg. Lost control of the wrist, though. And sends him right back down to the floor. And there's that rumble we talk about, which always brings the oohs and ahs. I feel like you only really hear that during this weight class. And it's always funnier to me when you start towards the upper weight classes and then turn it over to the lower weight classes of 25s. More than double their size. 1 point escape, but it will be a ride time bonus right now, minute 17. So we've got 17 seconds to work with. Knighton Ward with 35. A half minute to go in the third. Taking the shot. Patiently waiting. Still waiting to see if maybe they'll give a stall here. But it's a 3-point lead. He's already guaranteed the bonus points. Sends him right down hard. 2-point takedown as the buzzer sounds. The lead is 7 and 8. Boy, he timed that perfectly. Major decision win for Zachary Knighton Ward. A standing ovation in his final duel here at Hofstra University. So it's Garcia and Moon. And at 285, Hofstra has now won the last two, which brings them up to a 14-8 lead. So they won at 97, they won at 85. They took wins at 57 and 74. And a lot of bonus points so far in these. Only two rather, that have gone to decision. That was at 57 and 74. Every other match that we have seen has been a major decision. Jacob Moon, Devin Garcia here at 25. Garcia, a junior out of Union City, California. Last year was 10 and 11 overall. This year he has seen some time, but 1 and 7 on the year. Has dropped his last 3. One by pin, one by major decision. His last one on the 12th to Eddie Flores out of Cal State. 9-3 via decision. Here he has a 2-1 lead over Moon. Moon 8-13 on the year, 4-6 inside of duels. Showing progress over the course of this year. The one big thing from ninth-year head coach Dennis Papadopoulos is he needs to finish matches. Has to go from beginning to end. Didn't have the control for the takedown. 40 seconds. And not giving it. There it is. So flips the lead from 2-1 to 3-2 in favor of the Pride. And Moon here has 10 seconds to hang on, take a lead going into the second period as he walks him to the sides. A stall against Jacob Moon. And the bench says, keep it going. Jamie Franco on the sideline, associate head coach, used to wrestle at these lower weight classes. It works with everybody. Does not matter the weight class itself. It was a really good wrestler in his time here. It is also the Alumni Day, too, is during the mid-match all the alumni who have made their way back out here to Hofstra University were honored and took a nice little picture. Something that is a great tradition that Hofstra Pride Wrestling has done every single year. Or rather, just 10 seconds into the second. And taking bottom here was Garcia as he trails by 1. Moon trying to control that right arm. Doesn't have control of the midsection yet to get the wrist. As Garcia is swarming around, trying to break free. He gets up to just one leg slightly. See if Moon can try and turn him over here. And keeps driving those back legs. With 70 seconds to go here in the second. Whistle blows, back underway here. Moon still with good control on top. As the clock ticks down, under a minute in the second. .35. And Moon has control this entirety of the last 90 seconds. And Garcia did start on bottom, so this has all been Jacob Moon's. Now getting that ride time bonus up in his favor. That does it for the second. So it's a neutral selection by Jacob Moon in the third period. It's control that left leg and not a takedown yet. And they're giving a caution. To the displeasure of the Hofstra bench. Hofstra asking for 2. They got 2, and he's kind of got him on his side. He can definitely get some back points here if he keeps driving. Up by 3. Coaching staff yelling, get that right arm over. Push that left leg out. We had Garcia in a tough position there. And a chance to try and get some near fall points. Under a minute to go. He's guaranteed the bonus. Stall warning called against Garcia. .40 seconds to go. Trying to turn him over. Stall point. It's a 4-point lead. It'll end up being 5, counting the bonus. Could really use these back points here. He's got 10 seconds to try and do something with it. And it doesn't seem like he's going to have enough time to do it. So a 5-point win, 7-2 for Jacob Moon. His 5th dual win of the year, 9th overall. And the Pride are now up 17-8 as they have won their last 3. We go to 133 pounds. It's Chase Liardi, 10-10 overall in the year, 5-5 in duels. Another local kid out of Massapequa, New York, is Chase Liardi. Hunter Leak out of for California Baptist goes at 33. Leak has wrestled in nearly all the duels at 33. Didn't for 3 straight, but got back out there against Cal State Bakersfield their last time out. Lost his first, won his next 2, and it's kind of been sporadic in terms of the victories in duels. Liardi still driving forward. And out of bounds. Liardi, who has won his last 4. Had a pin against George Mason. And that was a huge pin for Hofstra during that duel. He needed those points on that Friday evening, and then won via major decision against another tough wrestler in the EIWA in the Drexel duels. Got a decision at Harvard, and then win via fall. 37 seconds in against Sacred Heart. Liardi, who has been really a household name if you talk about high school wrestling on Long Island, which of course is such a well-connected community here on the island. Nassau County Championships were just last week. If you ever have a chance, the Nassau County Championships are held here at Hofstra University. Have been in years past, been a number of years since. It is a great atmosphere. Last weekend, you walk into the MAC, just down those double doors that you see on your screen to the other side. It was a full house, energetic, 6 mats going. Wrestlers from all over this county. Really cool atmosphere. Liardi, a couple of weeks ago, Dennis Papadato said, he was getting a little down on himself because he lost some tough matches to some good ranked wrestlers, but that was during a really tough stretch that he had. He saw 3 ranked guys, lost 1-0 to Brendan Ferretti of Navy, who was ranked 31st at the time. No points given. Lancer is upset about that one, as both coaching staffs wanted one during this time, so he goes scoreless to the second. But for Liardi, he won his first 4. Then he had a really tough stretch where he was losing 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-1, 5-3, 1-0. Those were tough losses for him. In duels, he lost 5 of his first 6, and all by a tight margin. Dennis Papadato said, got a little down on himself, but starting to come back to form, and since then, he has won his last 4. Just the 1 escape point, and now the 2. Dennis Papadatos throws out the brick. He's going to challenge the 2. So they'll look it over with a 17-8 lead, and we'll see what the result's going to end up being. With 1 minute and 6 seconds left here in the second. Obviously, if it stands, it's 3-0. If it doesn't, it's just a 1-0 lead. So this is a big, obviously, 2 points and a big challenge here on the Hunter League takedown. It seems like a pretty quick review. Or rather that it's not. Excuse me, it's the official talking to the coaches instead. So as they talk it over, we'll take a quick break. As they're challenging the takedown here on the Hofstra Pride YouTube channel. So the takedown was confirmed after review. So Hofstra loses the challenge, and Liardi Tries to fly back up to his feet. It's out of bounds with 1 minute 2 seconds to go here in the second. Chase Liardi out of Massapequa. Friends and family always in attendance. Obviously not too far away here from Hempstead, New York. It's back to his feet. Couldn't turn out. So to the center of the Hofstra H we go. We already caught in a tough spot here. 20 seconds. And they'll put Leak off of him. And do it again. That's the end of the second. 3-0 lead for Hunter Leak as we head to the third. So again, this is a really, really big moment for Chase Liardi. Whoever wins, well, if he wins this, doesn't matter if it's decision, major, tech, or pin, it would clinch Hofstra the duel no matter what. That would get him to 20. And then even if Hoyle and Leandrew both get pins, they would still have the tiebreaker. Standing back up. Three 0 lead. Liardi gets caught, and that's 2 for Hunter Leak. Leak looking for some more here if he can. He's got Liardi in a tough spot with his back. And they're going to call danger there. Bring it back to center. "40 seconds to go. Ride time bonus is guaranteed, the extra point. So right now, it would be essentially a 6-0 lead with 23 seconds to play if it stands. Liardi, tough spot. That shoulder got caught. That was a tough spot there. That's the bench was yelling for, danger. But that does it. 6-0 via decision. Hunter Leak wins. It's a 17-11 lead still for the Pride. As we head to Justin Hoyle at 141. Christian Nunez will get the look here. 1-6 in duels this year, 3-9 overall. Native out of Washington is Justin Hoyle. Hoyle 15-11 overall in the season, 7-3 in duels. And already trailing 2-0 after a quick takedown. And now an escape, 2-1. And the last thing that, of course, Hofstra wants to happen is it all rely on Michael Andrew at 49 to win the duel. And that could end up happening if the Lancers take the victory here. Nunez in his career, 18-24. Well, Hoyle has won 3 of his last 4. A pin in his last time out, just 94 seconds in the Sacred Heart duel. A tough 4-0 loss, the Harvard duel, and then sudden victory against Jordan Soriano. And boy, what a match that was to bring it to sudden victory. After a major decision win over a tough Anthony Glassel of George Mason that Friday prior, but that Sunday where he had the sudden victory, it was so impressive the way he fought back. Got 2 points late in the third to force sudden victory and then got the win. And you're trailing by just 1 with 1:05 to go in the first period. California State Baptist trying to enjoy this road trip and fight back. They're 3-11 on the season out of the Big 12 conference. First time these two have ever met one another. Oh, huge takedown. And let's see if he can get some back points here. Hoyle! So close of getting that second one down. Gets 4 back points. A gigantic 2 on the takedown. And then the 4 on the near fall. And the cushion is now up to 5 here in the first. Hoyle still with control, couldn't slip out of that one. So Nunez trailing by 5 as we head to the second. Hoyle still controlling Nunez here. And now Nunez is able to slip out of that. He ducked his head underneath. So it's back to 4. He's got 53 seconds in ride time, does Hoyle. And 1:14 on the clock here in the second. Nunez trying to shoot for that left. He's got control of the ankle. And bringing him back to neutral. 2:45 on the clock. Going for a double. And a good sprawl there by Hoyle. As he tried to get out that left. And now he has control of him. And that right quad. Continues to push forward, wants the 2, gets it. 9-3 lead now. Give him back points here. He's got 4. What a way to end the second. A 6-point swing. The lead is up to 10. Again, any victory in this match clinches Hofstra the dual victory. Hoyle back down to his knees. As Nunez tries to spin it around, it's a 1-point escape and an 11-point advantage. So Hoyle, minute 35 away from a major decision. Nunez staying aggressive here in the third, trying to cut back. Goes for the left leg. And it's a 2-point takedown. So the lead right now is 13. 14 if you count the extra bonus point. And looks like a little cut on the face of Christian Nunez. So they'll clean off the mat and they'll clean off his face quickly. Again, EIWA Championships will take place March 4th and 5th in Philadelphia. And that should be a fun couple of days for some EIWA wrestling before the NCAAs following that. And of course, for everyone here at Hofstra University, we thank you for tuning in all season long on the Hofstra Pride YouTube channel for some Hofstra Pride wrestling. Been lucky enough to be back on the call here for the last 3. So Nunez has bottom here. In 13-point lead. And this could be really helpful for Hoyle to try and tech. Hoyle this year has 1 tech victory. And he still has time to work with here. Got his waist. Puts him down. Let's see if he can get some back points here. Oh boy, just slipped out. With 10 seconds to go, Again, that lead is 13. 14 with the bonus point, so it won't be via tech, but it is by major decision. Hofstra has won the duel here on Senior Day, and Justin Hoyle is victorious as well. 16-11 now overall in the season, 8-3 inside of duels. A 10-point lead, and we close things out today at 149. Chaz Hallmark, the freshman, as Michael Leandrew gets the nod again. Hallmark, a redshirt sophomore, went 16-12 last year, started in all 10 duels, winning 5 of the 10. Last year, 2 years prior to that, in that second season, but his first season where it all counted for him, went 2-6. And redshirted here in that unattached year, went 12-7. So he has had some time on the mats. As Michael Leandrew looking to get back to some winning ways. Leandrew, the junior out of Oyster Bay, went to American. Got a win via Tech Fall in his last time out. As he went 1-1 that day, he get the Harvard duel and then the Sacred Heart duel. Lost via major decision and won via Tech. But he's had a tough stretch where he fell 6 consecutive before that last win. Another one of these local kids, and Dennis Papadatos always wants to try and keep these kids who are local here. And Leandrew was one of those who was very good during his days in Oyster Bay. Minute into the first period, still scoreless. Between Leandrew and Chaz Hallmark, and Hallmark grabs 2. Now trying to turn him. Gets 2 more. And out of bounds. In Hallmark, 22-30 overall in his career, 4-12 this season, 2-8 in duels. And he has wrestled the last 4 at 149, and all but 4 duels this year, he has gotten the nod at 149 pounds. He's won 2 of his last 4. Here, holding on to a 4-0 lead with 1:09 on the clock in the first. Seconds. And Chaz Hallmark has had the control for the majority of this first period. At the 30-second called. $15. And with 10 seconds called, it's like he'll just try and ride this thing out. With a 4-0 lead and 45 seconds of cushion of ride time. To the second we go. Lancers take bottom. Caution called. Five 0 lead after the escape point. Leandrew. Minute 15 to go. A minute to go in the second. Leandrew trying to push with that right foot. Flipped in a tough spot. 30 seconds. And back to standing. 30 seconds. 20 to go. And a 2-point takedown. So Hallmark up 7-0 with 10 seconds to go. As Leandrew got caught. 5 seconds. And we will head to the third. It is Leandrew's choice for the Pride. Leandrew is what he selects, and there's 2 minutes left. Leandrew trying to grab for that right, or rather left ankle. Going for that right ankle as well. And 2 points for Hallmark. Up 9-0 now. And unless something crazy happens, Hallmark could be cruising here to a major decision. Minute 10. And he has guaranteed, of course, that extra point, so it's a 10-0 lead, including the bonus ride time. Well, it's been a fun one here on Senior Day. As before the match, 6 graduating seniors were honored with their friends and family. And then at the mid-match, all the alumni in attendance were welcomed back in the center of the mat. Mario Biancamano, Brenton Symington, Jacob Ferreira, Trey Rogers, Zachary Knighton Ward, and Ben Somerville, the 6 graduates who were given their framed singlets. After starting at 57 with a victory with McGinty. Almaguer from California Baptist over Shindell by major decision at 65. Ross McFarland over decision at 74. Chardy at 84 for California Baptist, and then Rogers, Knighton Ward, Moon all getting victories. 2 of them being major decisions. Moon by decision. Leak the win over Liardi at 33. Hoyle clinching it with major decision, 17-4 at 141. And then winner via major decision is Chaz Hallmark at 149 over Michael Leandrew. So the Pride finished their dual season with a victory. Again, it is just a couple of weeks away. They will be going to the EIWA Championship. Of course, for game schedules and more information, log on to GoHofstra.com. For everyone here at Hofstra University, thanks so much for tuning in all season long. I'm Dan Savarino saying thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.